Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Grade 11. This is a video lesson recording for empowerment technologies, and this is for module 1, which discusses about information communication technology. The objectives for this module is, first, you will be able to differentiate Web 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0, and compare and contrast the nuances of varied online platforms, sites, and content. Your performance task for this module is 1 to 2 pages of written report differentiating Web 1.0, Web 2.0, and 3.0. So let's check what are digital natives. So let's say, how many times have you checked your phone this morning? When we transitioned from face-to-face on to distance learning, and we have online learning, every time I wake up now, I have to check my phone for updates and for a lot of things. So yeah, there are a lot of times I have checked my phone this morning. How many status updates have you posted in Facebook or Twitter today? I'm not sure about your answer for this one, but I'm not sure about your average. So you try to tell me how many times. Did you use the internet for an hour after you woke up this morning? You'll probably say yes, and you'll probably also say that each, because we are online learners, so we really have to use the internet. And do you follow a celebrity via his or her social media account? Not just celebrity, like a channel perhaps, or a certain community that you get updates from. Like for example, if you are into online gaming or esports, so you follow all types of channels in that genre or in that category. It doesn't have to be a celebrity per se, but you follow a certain group or organization in the Facebook community or maybe in online community. Okay, so if you want to answer that, go ahead and write the answer on the comment section below. So if you, for example, you answered a lot of these things with a yes, and depending on your answer actually, you might be a digital native. But digital native, by definition, is a person born or brought up during the age of digital technology and therefore familiar with computers and the internet from an early age. I am not. I'm actually a millennial, apparently, according to the categories you found on the internet. I am a millennial. But then, we adapt early because, in fairness, we were exposed to computers at such a young age. I can still remember I was still 4 or 5 years old the first time I saw a computer, and my brothers and sisters would let me use the computer, for playing games and whatnot. But if I can still remember, like grade 1 or grade 2, I helped my brothers and sisters encode documents for clients because my brother owns like a computer shop. So at such an early age, I was able to use computer in our house. So I was able to adapt early. But you, personally, in the Philippines, it's like 1994 and above. People who are born from 1994 and above, those are who we call digital natives. Because in the Philippines, internet started around 1994. And so people who were born on that age have a connection with the internet already and have their baby photos taken in digital technology. Unlike us, our baby pictures are analog, So probably all of you are digital natives. So what does that entail, being a digital native? You're born in an age where information communication technology is rampant. Okay? So information communication technology, it deals with the use of different communication technologies such as mobile phones, internet, and others to locate, save, send, and edit information. So going back to the very first module that we have in Media and Information Literacy in the first SEM, we talked about why do we have to communicate with each other? And the answer is that we have a message. We have a message or information that we want to convey to other people and let them understand that message. Okay? So, due to this innate need to communicate with other people, a lot of different types of technology was born from this. Nag-start tayo sa pagsulat, and then nag-start tayo sa pag-post mail, and then nagkaroon ng digital technology around World War II, at para saan din? Para makipag-communicate sa mga allies, sa mga ibang tao, and to even calculate faster, because they realize na ang hirap makipaggera, na kailangan mano-manong pag-calculate ng mga bagay-bagay. Maraming kinakalculate natin noong World War II, and they want to lessen the casualty, kasi nga, natuto na tayo dapat sa World War I na ang daming namatay. So, dapat sa World War II, we have to try and lessen everything. So, dapat, pag ang bomba, ipapasabugin mo sa isang lugar, dapat precise. Or maybe, if you are going to, strategize and put armies on different locations, at least mag-calculate ka or mag-estimate ka ng not exactly precise, but almost accurate na pag-calculate, kung saan mo ilalagay yung ganitong percentage ng army, kung kailan mo ipapasunod ang reinforcements. All of these things helped in building up digital technology. Even the, what do you call this one? The decoding of Enigma, by Alan Turing and his colleagues. Enigma is actually the code used by German Nazis at that time to encrypt their messages. So even that, they were trying to decrypt the hidden messages. It also compelled them to use technology. So a lot of things, ang daming rason kung bakit naggawa ng digital technology ang mga tao, so that it will ease their needs. Okay? That is why it made our lives quite easy these days. Like for example, dati nga, sa TV namin, kailangan lapitan mo yung TV, ikot-ikot mo yung button if you want to change the channels. But now we have remote controls. And not even remote control TV. We have voice recognition, TVs, smart TVs. The voice recognition na lang, you don't even have to have a remote, So that is how technology has been upgrading and improving and changing lives of the people, especially you, digital natives, who are born in this era, in this age. Okay? So what is the difference between World Wide Web and the Internet? World Wide Web, or WWW, or simply the web, is an interconnected system of public web pages accessible through the Internet. It was invented by Sir Tim Berners-Lee in 1989. Okay. So, ang WWW, or World Wide Web, doon natin nakukuha ang mga public web pages. Doon din sila ina-upload ng mga domains, whatever that domain is. Dati, ang mga may-ari ng domain is mga group and organizations that have money, that have connections for them to have a domain. But nowadays, having a domain is quite accessible, even to an individual. Basta may pera lang siya, pambayad sa mga hosting companies to have a domain name. So, right now, all of these domains are posted on www. Okay? Ang kaibahan niya sa internet is that the internet is yung connection between the different networks all around the world. Kumbaga pa, doon nagadaan. Okay? Doon nagadaan ang information so that one network can connect to another network, whatever that is located in the entire Earth. It can be connected. So that is the internet. Doon dumadaan yung information. But the hub, kung saan nakasave lahat ang mga public web pages na pwede siyang ma-access ng kahit sino na nakakonect sa internet, okay? Yun ang World Wide Web. Okay, bakit natin sinabi na World Wide Web? Why are we specifying the public web pages are posted up on World Wide Web? That is because even the dark web pages are also running or dumadaan din sa internet, right? But then, not all individuals can have access to the dark web. So, ibig sabihin, ang internet ay daanan lamang, no? But ang World Wide Web is doon nakapost, doon ang hub ng mga public web pages. Not exactly safe for access, but individuals like us can access them. Ang internet ay daanan, ang World Wide Web is yung hub, yung paglalagyan, repository ng mga public web pages. Okay, moving on. Dati kasi guys, nung gumawa na ng mga first models of computer ang mga tao. Dahil nga, noong mga 1940s, no? IBM, actually, International Business Machine, was the first one to build a prototype of a computer. But the idea, no? Ang idea kung paano naka-design at kung ano yung mga units within the system unit is actually Alan Turing, no? Which is also the leader of the group who decoded the Enigma, yung hidden messages ng German before in World War II. Siya ang nakaisip kung paanong dapat merong control unit, kung paanong dapat merong central processing unit, kung paanong dapat merong algorithm and logical unit ang isang PC, ang isang computer, no? Si Alan Turing ang nakaisip nun. But the making of the prototype itself is International Business Machines or IBM. Now, yung computers ng IBM before is malalaki, no? And syempre mahal kasi ang hirap gawin ng technology at that time, okay? So ang maka-afford lang yan, and really yung makaisip na kailangan natin ng computer ay yung mga malalaking organizations such as NASA, you know, they use that they really needed computer before because, you know, they are calculating projections and they were aiming to land on the moon at that time. So they needed a computer. But then only around early 1980s na nagsimula nang nag-develop ng PC or personal computer at naglabasan na ang mga iba pang companies such as Microsoft, Macintosh of course, Apple company, at they created a small size computer. Not exactly small size. Kung makita niyo yung mga computer dati, you will be saying, ito na yung small, but no. but I mean, in contrast with the computer that was originally prototyped by IBM, mas maliit na yung PC na ginawa, no, ng Apple at saka ng Microsoft company. But this PC is mahal. Yung personal computer is mahal pa rin. So, only a few individuals or homes were able to afford that one. Only around 1990s na parang naging household material na ang computers, no? And even here in the Philippines, also started around 1994, 1995, yun na nga, no? Or early 1990s nag-start na nagkaroon tayo ng computers in our houses, no? So, it started with that. And then people realized that, kailangan pala natin mag-share ng files, whatever that file is. So, they created a peer-to-peer network, you know? Diretso i-plug natin ang isang UTP wire sa isang computer papunta sa second computer. But then, meron pang ibang computer na gusto rin makishare. So what they did before is yung floppy disk. I'm not sure if you still, if you know what is a floppy disk. Storage siya, no? It's a storage device. It's like USB pero flat siya. Yung itsura ng save icon sa Microsoft Word, that is a floppy disk. So what they did is, they copy the file from computer 1 and then send it to computer 3 and then physically paste or transfer the files. But that is tedious, diba? And there are a lot of things that can happen there. What if the file is updated in PC1? So you have to do the process all over again just to send the updated file to computer 3. So, you know, when problems arise, people tend to find a solution. So what they thought is, mag-P2P network kaya tayo. P2P network is peer-to-peer network, you know, and they decided to create a hub. Hindi tayo specifically mag-delve into who created who, no? Like for example, who created the initial look of a computer. Kasi madaming companies at that time ang nagtatrabaho, and we really cannot own up na Apple ang nauna sa ganitong design. Maybe in that specific design, maybe, but the concept of computer and digital technology is not entirely theirs alone. Okay? So, itong hub na ito, we are not even sure exactly who created this idea or who created the first prototype, but there is what we call a hub. It's a very small, not very small, but it's a small device, smaller than a system unit of a computer before. And what it does is you can put in connections of different PCs, no, using UTP wire or any other wires, cable for networking. At doon mo siya ilagay sa hub, and everybody has access to everything. So si PC, kumbaga pa ito na part, no, si PC1 can send files to network 4, and peer 2 can send to peer 3, peer 2 can send to peer 4. Everybody is networked in this type of in this kind of network design. However, ang nakitang issue dito is that, halimbawa pang nag-send si Peer 1, because of the minimal functionality that Hub offers, isisend niya yan lahat sa Peer 3, Peer 4, and Peer 2 without filtering na gusto pala ni Peer 1 kay Peer 4 lang masend yan. Kumbaga pa, kung confidential yun, nakita na ni Peer 3 at saka ni Peer 2. So, meron tayong issue, di ba? So, that is why nagkaroon tayo ng client-server network. So, meron ng server, no? Parang siyang central unit ng buong network. And then, PCs can connect to the server. Now, if you are going to send something, it will be specifically sent to that PC. So, for example, if this is PC1, and the PC1 wants to send something to PC5, let's say, it will only be sent to PC5. Hindi yan makikita ni 2, 3, and 4. As well as other items and devices can be connected to this network. Pwedeng meron tayong printer, pwedeng merong laptop, and all of these PCs na connected dito sa server can use the printer. It can be utilized by all of the PCs connected to the network. Now, in client-server network, pwedeng switch or router ang gamit ng client-server network. So, moving on, afterwards, nagkaroon na tayo ng sobrang lalaking networks. And within offices, for example, nagkaroon tayo ng sarili nating network, and it became local area network. However, again, no, isang office, let's say, isang napakalaking company, meron siyang office, let's say, in United States, meron siyang office sa Washington, meron din siyang office sa Las Vegas perhaps, and then meron siyang office sa Los Angeles, and then meron siyang office sa, I don't know, no, a lot of states maybe. So, they were thinking, paano natin to i-connect na hindi na tayo kailangan mag-update ng isang katerbang files for it, you know, na parang real-time ma-update natin, or so the people in Washington would be able to connect to the database from the people in Los Angeles. How can we do this? So, we created the WAN, or Wide Area Network. Actually, aside from WAN, meron pang Metropolitan Area Network, or MAN, but it is like a WAN na rin siya, no? Wide Area Network na rin siya. And then afterwards, guys, you can actually imagine, no? Parang nagigets nyo na after na-establish ang Wide Area Network, then parang nothing is impossible na. So meaning, we can also connect with other people from other countries, you know? And that is why interconnected networks, the internet, no? Information superhighway, is born. Okay, so that is internet. Okay, now let's try to differentiate different web pages or different eras that was posted on World Wide Web. So the first one is Web 1.0, static web pages. From the word static, it means it does not change. It does change, but it can only be changed by the person who owns the website. Okay? Only the content creator or website owner can input content. So, kumbaga pa, ang mga news outlets na nag-post ng mga content online sa mga website nila dati, it looks like a newspaper online. May mga konting ads siguro at may mga konting gumagalaw, you know, but most of the time it just looks like a newspaper online, posted online. So, it does not frequently change. It can only be changed when edited and updated by the programmer of web designer and developer of the website itself. No? So, it doesn't say much. Like for example, kung maalala nyo pa kung sino pang nakaabot dito ng Friendster, but possibly no, of course not, ang babata nyo pa. But us, we, what do you call this one, naabutan namin ng Friendster, and every time ay gusto namin magbago ng, you know, ng anything on our page, we have to keep on editing things and then saving the updates and then posting it again. And every time we go to another page, it's like another page upload, kaya nga ang tagal-tagal, no? Ang bigat-bigat ng mga pages na kailangan i-upload, kaya mabagal ang serbisyo. But then, it all changed when Web 2.0 appeared. Okay? But by the way, guys, sayang, no? Ang dami kasing, dito ang daming crucial moments, especially in computer science aspect. JavaScript has a lot of things to do with how Web 2.0 came to be. You know, the establishment of JavaScript. Okay, it's a programming language, a scripting language, I should say. it changed the game in web development talaga. And it created dynamic pages. Dati guys, sa Friendster, yun ang ano, in contrast, when we experienced Facebook, in contrast with how we experienced Friendster, it was so different. And that is Web 2.0. And let's talk about some features of Web 2.0, although the picture itself depicts the features already, like communities, creativity, wikis, video sharing, participation, social networking, interactivity, network, blogs, and a whole lot of things. Let's discuss some of the features of Web 2.0. So the first one is taxonomy. So that means you can have keyword or categorize the data or information within a website. Dati guys, no, ang hashtag na yan ay only utilized as a feature by Twitter. I don't know, specifically around 2008 to 2009, as a user of the internet here in the Philippines, I think only Twitter is using that one. I'm not sure. Please enlighten me if there are other websites in that time that has been using hashtag. No, so, nung nagkaroon na nito, naka-specify na ang mga content, you know, and whatever hashtag or keyword that you wanted to go to, you can just click on the hashtag and then you can go to that content. No? So that is taxonomy. Next is rich user interface. Yun na nga, no, unlike dati, pag magpo-post kami ng something online, most of the time we are using text. But nowadays, you can use emojis, you can use GIFs, you can use, you know, short clips, you can even use an entire clip, video clip, you know, to comment on someone, you can use links, a lot of things. No? So that is rich user interface. Next is user participation. Tulad nga kanina, no, na sinabi natin, not just the owner of the page can input something on the website. Even you as a user or napadaan ka lang sa website na yun, pwede ka mag-like, pwede ka mag-comment, you can even, you know, share that specific post. And interconnected na lahat ng platforms, you know, like for example, a website or a web page can have access to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and a whole lot of things. And look at YouTube, you know, and look at Instagram. Pag meron kang ipopost to Instagram, you can post the same thing on your My Day on Facebook. You know, all of these things are rich user interface plus user participation. And then we have software as a service or SaaS. Like for example, if there is a website offering accounting services, okay, and they have a software for that, your company now could have a subscription to that website and they will give you an access to their software and you can use it for your company. You just have to pay them for their services. So that is software as a service. And then next we have mass participation. Due to digital access, a lot of people in the entire world has connection to the internet every day. And a lot of people as well owns a smartphone or any device that can connect to the internet. So a lot of people can participate in a lot of things that are going on onto the internet. Like for example, live streaming ba yan, a forum, a discussion, online learning, you know, a lot of these things. So that is mass participation. Last but not the least, on our list of features of Web 2.0 is subscriptions. So for example, ayan no, Netflix, and meron ding in-offer ang YouTube na premium, you know, you can pay them for a subscription, I should say, but not traditional goes. For example, a subscription to a cable TV, you know, it's only applicable to one place or maybe one region or one country. But nowadays, subscriptions online are applicable to anybody that is, for as long as meron kang internet connection, you know, you can be a subscriber of that specific service. Okay? So next we have Web 3.0. It is called the semantic web. So again, no, Web 1.0 is static web. Web 2.0 is dynamic. And then Web 3.0 is semantic. Okay, so ano ibig sabihin ng semantic? You know, ability of web technologies to understand and interpret human-generated content. The aim of Web 3.0 is to have machines understand the user's preferences to be able to deliver web content specifically targeting the user. Now there has been a lot of debate about the ethics or the ethical side of Web 3.0 because it felt as if nawalan ng data privacy ang mga users. Because one of the main things that semantic web does is it tracks, it keeps track of your likes, of your comments, of your subscriptions to tailor fit a specific advertisement for you. Para bigyan ka nila ng targeted advertisement of something, of an item or a product that you will most likely buy or you will most likely consume. You know? So that is targeting, right? Although meron naman silang intention na maganda, no, na unlike before daw, random ads ang pinapakita nila sa tao, and you will like get annoyed, you know? Sometimes you get annoyed, like, bakit mo ko binibigyan ng ads sa ganito? I'm not interested in these things. Now, one of the things that they do is that, okay, I will take note of the things that you like, and then we will give you ads that you think are interesting, you know? But then again, on the ethical side is that, are we okay that somebody is spying on us, or somebody is getting our data without us knowing, you know? So that is one of the ethical dark side of semantic web. And the internet is able to predict the best possible answers to your question by learning from your previous choices. Just like how Google suggests keywords to us now, or search words for us now. Unlike dati, pag mag-search ka sa Google, you have to be very specific with your keywords, with the words that you are using for search, for searching. You know, because ang dating algorithm ng Google search engine is that using the keywords that you have typed, it will match the keywords on a document. At kung madaming matches sa isang document, it will give it to you. So, regardless of relevant ba, or you need the information from that document, it will just give it to you. But nowadays, Google will like be predicting and anticipating what it is that you really wanted. Kahit pa hindi ka magaling maglagay ng keyword dyan, or ng search words, you know, the words that you are trying to search for, it will try to give you suggestions. No? Because probably andito yung gusto mo talagang makita or gusto mo talagang i-search dito sa mga suggestions ko. And that is one way of predicting. So, dati, walang context ang binibigay niya sa'yo na result. But nowadays, it feels like pagaling na ng pagaling ang algorithm ng search ng Google search engine. That's why it feels as if it can read your mind. Okay? So next, we have trends in ICT. So first one is convergence. Ang ibig sabihin ng convergence is technological convergence is the combination of two or more different entities of technologies to create a new single device. So dati, no, kung kailangan mo ng orasan, bumili ka ng relo. Kung kailangan mo tawag dito, makipag-communicate ka sa ibang tao, landline or beeper. Kung kailangan mo ng something like to-do list or, you know, para matulungan ka sa mga note-taking, then you have to buy a personal digital assistant or PDA. Nowadays, everything is on your smartphone. You know, andun na lahat. Even, you know, getting your temperature, your body weight, your body mass, you know, there's got to be an app for that. That is what you call convergence. You know, one device can do a lot of things for you. Okay? Next, we have social media. A website, application, or online channel that enables web users to create, co-create, modify, and exchange user-generated content. So, the first one is social networks. Madami na example or categories ang social media. That is why when you say social media, you have to specify which one. Although nowadays, no, sa sobrang convergent ng purposes and features ng mga websites na pinupuntahan natin, it feels as if hindi na makita yung totoong boundary ng kanilang purpose. I mean, like, take a look at Instagram. Dati, picture, lang siya, no? Sharing site, images, ang usual na sinishare sa Instagram. But then, it evolved into, you know, posting short clips, you know, posting video clips even, and IGTV, you know, meron ng Instagram TV. So, parang na din siyang YouTube, and, you know, so, it really has, you know, incorporated a lot of things. So, social networking sites allow you to connect with other people with same interest or background, again, for socializing, no? So, for example, Facebook or Google+. And then we have bookmarking sites. It allows users to store and manage links to various websites and resources. Because sometimes, we visit a lot of websites in one day. You know, pagka next day, nakalimutan na natin, ano nga ang website yun? Yung parang may nakita akong something na useful. You know, so Stumble Upon or Pinterest and any other bookmarking sites will help you to put a bookmark on that so that you can use it later. Okay? Next is social news, sites that allow users to post their own news items or links to other news sources. So Reddit, Dig, and most of broadcasting companies right now, you know, yung mga ABS-CBN, ANC, GMA, in the context of the Philippines, you know, most of them have social news websites. Okay, because broadcasting on TV is not enough. Most of the time, mas mabilis pa nating nakukuha ang information from our social media accounts rather than watching it on TV. Okay? Media sharing, sites that allow you to upload and share media content, whatever media that is, images, music, videos, and whatnot. So those sites are specifically for media sharing. For example, Flickr, YouTube, and Instagram, SoundCloud, podcast, and podcasts, and a whole lot of things, okay? TikTok, microblogging, sites that focus on short updates from the user. Those who are subscribed will receive updates. So, for example, Twitter, Plurk. I'm not sure kung ilang characters na ang pwede mong i-upload or i-post dyan sa Twitter. But, I don't know. Dati ang naabutan ko is yung 120 characters. So, hindi ka pwedeng mag-rant ng sobra-sobra dyan sa Twitter, You can, but you will be like creating an entire thread. So, good luck. Okay, next, blogs and forums, sites that allow users to post their content. For example, Blogger, WordPress, Tumblr, and a whole lot of things out there where you can create your own website, basta may pera ka lang. Okay? So, those are social media. Next is mobile technologies. So, mobile phones replacing PCs functions. Like, we have different mobile operating systems, iOS, Android, BlackBerry, Windows Phone, Symbian, WebOS, and Windows Mobile. But Symbian is actually quite outdated. And Nokia has been bought by Windows, so probably Windows na rin ang kanyang OS. Ang top 2 na ginagamit ng mga tao ay iOS at saka Android. Okay? And I'm not sure about you, but I am using Android. Okay? But actually guys, ang pinaka-secured pa rin na phone in the whole world is BlackBerry. It's probably, apparently it's still the most secured. Next, we have Assistive Media, and this is the last one. It is a non-profit service designed to help people who have visual and reading impairments. A database of audio recordings is used to read the user. You may visit this website, assistive-media.org, for several of their audio recordings. Actually, ang dami pa nilang ibang offerings, and even different apps right now that help people who are differently able. Like for example, there is this app that will help a blind person know kung anong color ang isang damit or isang garment. All the blind person has to do is scan the cloth, whatever that cloth is, maybe a t-shirt, skirt, and whatnot, and then it will give out information to that blind person, like for example, color, texture, size, and a whole lot of other information. Meron din isa pang application, na nagvo-volunteer ang mga tao, and then a blind person can just scan an item in a grocery store perhaps, tapos tatawag or tatawag ang app itself for a volunteer, and that volunteer will describe the item to the blind person. And a whole lot of things, not just for blind person, madami pang ibang assistive media for deaf people, for mute people, and for all other differently abled people. Okay, so I think that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video lesson, and I hope that you learned something new today. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.